the best advice is just do it. Like, there's no harm in doing it. There's actually, even if you don't get funded, it's still a good experience to have. I mean, if you're going to stay in science, you need to be able to get funding and write grants and applications. And really, the PhRMA Foundation generally was a pretty smallish application. It was kind of a good intro to doing this.
The most important thing for me is to be organized. So there's like a lot of components that you have to submit. So I think it's best to have like a schedule. I've seen a lot of people applying for funding, and it's like they pull all-nighters working to finish this, and it's just not going to be your best work if you're super tired and exhausted trying to think of things to say.
I definitely tried to check out like what had been previously funded, just to get a sense of like scope and interest. Don't necessarily be afraid to like be like outside of the bounds a little bit, because it seems like the PhRMA Foundation is pretty open to like funding these more high risk projects, I would say.
Think thoughtfully as of the grant and the application as a whole. The pieces are, at least in my mind, you can't disentangle them. They might be different items on the to-do list, but they all need to be thought about holistically and collectively. So a personal statement should mirror themes that are discussed in the research statement, should mirror themes that are discussed in your impact questions. So it's a little bit of storytelling, which is kind of like an art of all of this. But of course, it needs to be underpinned by all of the great science as well.
So developing that specific aim page, like, going over it again and again is actually extremely important, so that you don't have to, keep redoing the proposal from scratch whenever, the PI had feels like, there are some aspects that you need to improve on. So yeah, working on the specific aims page, optimizing it very first, I think it makes the whole process more efficient.
Familiarize yourself with writing a competitive grant in the US in terms of style. Things changed a lot, and try to find or inform your references in terms of what are the necessary aspects to write good cover letters. Explore all the resources that the funding agencies provide for you to present a very competitive grant.
I would definitely recommend that having another set of eyes look at your application, and taking in all the help that you can, maybe from your grad school, from your mentor, your advisor.
So I'd recommend reaching out to past awardees, getting there. A lot of people are willing to share their applications, and they, the person that I reached out to, he was extremely helpful, offered to read through my application and provided support. And I think most people are willing to give even more support than you would expect.
I will encourage anyone that is applying to make sure you check all the boxes. I've done this, I did this, I did this, I did this. Check. Don't leave any stone unturned, and just do it. The work PhD students do is very important. Your research work is important, and it deserves to be funded. So do it. Apply.